Hello everyone. I'm gonna wait to see if the audio is okay. Okay, it's a bit loud, but it should be fine. Okay, so we're gonna close this. Okay, so welcome everyone to this chess tournament, the 4th edition of Hpot. I'm going to turn off this sound. Here we go. So thank you very much for tuning in. Wait, I'm going to lower a little bit the sound as well. It feels like it's too loud. Properties. Here. Advanced audio properties, we're gonna say plus 5 decibel. That's gonna be good. Sorry everyone for these little technical issues. We're gonna go with plus 5. That should be good. Close. 1 2 1 2. Still a bit too much. Advanced audio properties, we're gonna go down to 2. Okay, here we are. So thank you for tuning in for this 4th tournament. So here is a little recap of our monthly tournament. So first off, we have the beginner tournament for under 14 years old and beginners, because we have some younger students entering the open. And we have time control is going to be 5 minutes plus 5 seconds, actually in both tournaments. And the prizes are medals for top 3, actually also a chess scorebook, and e-certificate for everyone, and happy points also for the Hpot students. So the points are basically made for our students to claim some really cool reward, like Lego chessboard or like t-shirts or other really cool rewards that we give away in our club. And for the open, same thing actually, except that it's for everyone. Everyone can enter it. It's just going to be a bit higher level. So if you're young and you feel a bit uncomfortable, you better enter the beginner. If you're under 14 years old and you just started chess, the open might be a bit too complicated. And yeah, same thing for the rewards. We're gonna have like medals and chess scorebook for the top 3, e-certificate for everyone, happy points for everyone, and and that's pretty much it. And did I mention the best part of it? It's free. There's nothing to pay. So if you want to practice your chess and get some cool rewards all the while, feel free to enter, whoever you are. You don't need to be a member of the club. So yeah, that's what it is. We're a chess club, so if you want to follow a bit our news, you can subscribe to our Facebook page, Hpot Chess on Facebook. You can also check our website, hpotchess.com. And if you want to book a free lesson, contact us on the email address hpotchess@gmail.com. It's all Hpot Chess, Hpot Chess, Hpot Chess. So that's what for the tournament. I'm quite excited about the matchups. So we're gonna start in like 5 minutes and 40 seconds. We're gonna do a little round on the participants we have on both tournaments. So for the beginner one, hopefully we're gonna have a bit more people, because right now we have 5 participants. That may not be enough to do the 7 rounds. Yeah, I forgot to mention, it's also 7 rounds. And yeah, hopefully we're gonna have a couple more people joining in. If you're listening to this stream right now, you can join the tournament. Just look for, on Lichess, look for Hpot team. In the community team, you look for Hpot. And when they ask you the password, you can just type happy 2 2 3 6. The password for entering our team on Lichess is happy2236. And if you do so, then you'll be able to join the tournament. So for the beginner, especially if you just started chess, you're under 14, it's a really nice place to start. And once again, it's free. So yeah, feel free to join it. So we have 5 contenders for the beginners. We have Luis Naradip, great student, I think. So we have this kind of league system within the club where if you finish in the first 3 of the small tournament, of the beginner tournament, you qualify for the upper one. And we have an even cooler thing. We have like a replicate of the candidates. So the candidates tournament, for those who don't know, is a world championship qualifier for grandmasters. Basically, the 8 best grandmasters are fighting each other on a round robin tournament. They're gonna fight each other twice, and the winner of this gets to fight the world champion for the world championship. So we decided to do the same thing, but except that within our club for the kids, if you finish top 3 of the open, again within the kids of our clubs, then you qualify for the candidates. And we're gonna organize a really cool tournament, maybe online, maybe for real, a real tournament if, of course, the situation allows it. Otherwise, it's gonna be online. And I would be with the best kids of the clubs fighting it off for the world championship of the club, not an actual world championship. Sorry if it's a bit disappointing, but you know, we keep it playful. Yeah, so we have Luca, his brother, also a very strong contender for the top 3. Top 3 being a bit easier to reach if you have like 5 participants, of course. Far Night Eagle, Ritz the Blitz, again strong contenders, and Charlie BNL. All of them already good at chess. Of course, started for some a while ago, but it's let's say a lower level than the open would be. And in the open, we're gonna start in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. We have our very own RVK2987, chess teacher of Hpot. He's ranked 2,548. I guess his ranking might be a bit high at the moment, but he's one of the very strong teacher of the club. As a matter of fact, I've never ever witnessed him losing a game. I guess he lost in the past, but I'm not aware of it yet. I hope he lost in the past, otherwise he might just be the best chess player in the world. Just kidding. Then we have Louis2403. He joined the previous tournaments, scored very high as well. Mr. Railgun, another teacher of Hpot, very strong as well, known for his underdog status and take down like the ones having a great streak during tournaments. Beyblade Hpot, one of the students, finished second at the last beginner tournament, got his ticket qualifying for the open one. Kawaii Pack, Umipati, not sure, I think it's their first tournament with us. No, Umipati was here on the last one. Wise Floating Moment, same, finished first at the last beginner tournament. Congratulations. Made his way to the open one. Messi Apple, I think first tournament. Zenatan A and Afar A, both very, very strong. Afar A being 6 years old and already qualifying for the tournament. You'll see we have to watch out for him because I think he's gonna hold his ground during this tournament. Kawaii Pack say hi, Tonmo. Welcome Tonmo to the tournament. Everyone get ready, starting in 30 seconds. And then we have in the second page, we have Samir Daga, also qualified for the Open, one of the kids. Sonu the Destroyer. Okay, that's scary. Aku1305, Alan Lucien, Mauricio Ace Bedo, also participated to the previous one. Royal Red King Cobra, also 6 years old, made his way to the top tournament as well. And Araya Man. And we go in 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's start with the kids. Okay, let's start with the first game. Let me change the scene, of course. there we go. Let's start with the first game, Ritz de Blist against Charlie BNL. So we have a Reti opening. Okay, back to some kind of Italian opening. Okay, reversed Italian, maybe the 4-knight coming up. No, okay, so here I think... Wait, that was d4, my bad, that was d4. I got mixed up. So that's some kind of like Queen's Gambit, but it's not because there's no c4. Okay, so both players developing their pieces. That's pretty good, pretty good. Not much to say here. Both are playing pretty well. Okay, we got a h5. Someone is going for the attacking the king castle already. Probably a queen castle coming up for black. So for you viewers watching this game, there is what we call a castle race in chess. So if your opponent do the king castle, which is pretty much what we see on the bottom right here, the king castle is the small one. And if black went for like the queen castle, let's remind that is very important to protect your king. So if black goes for the queen castle, which is on the left here, basically both players are going to try to break the other one castle with their pawns. So basically what we're going to see, if black should be doing the queen castle quite soon. What we're going to see is like black pushing the pawns toward the white castle here, and white pushing his pawns toward the black castle here. And that would be what we call a castle race, and it's basically first one to break the other one's castle has great chance of winning. Because once the pawns of your castle are gone, your king is in grave danger. Grave danger. So I think white is... I'm not a big fan of this move. I guess it makes sense in regard of like maybe activating the knight to the queen side. But I'm a bit worried because this knight usually guards a lot of very important squares such as g5, h4, h2. I like to call it the bodyguard of the castle, this knight in f3, because it just keeps a lot of important square and it's very active in the defense. It's almost like essential to the defense. Once it's gone, I'm not sure. Maybe it's okay because black doesn't have any like nasty queen moves, but okay, knight here, probably to bring the knight all the way to c5. Not a big fan because yeah, simply the bishop can control the square, or we could even have moves such as b6 to just say like you came here, but there's no square for you to go. Okay, we're gonna move on to another game. Let's check another game. Oh, wait, I gotta refresh the page, sorry. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's see Lucas Naris versus 4-Knight Eagle. So what do we have here? +6 for 4-Knight Eagle. Looks like 4-Knight Eagle took the lead here. Also, I see a lot of active pieces. What do we have here? So white is a bit in trouble. White activating his pieces, but unfortunately, that's not. This is the most common way of losing chess games. Just to give you a little heads up. Yeah, there we go. So 4-Knight Eagle saw it. Here we have a free bishop, obviously, given by Lucas Naris, unfortunately. Now he's trying to sneak in with his knight, and unfortunately the fork in D. No, that doesn't work. The square was guarded. He tried to go for the fork, attacking the two rooks, but unfortunately is guarded by the knight and the bishop. So that's another free. Oh, and he gives a no. He doesn't give it away. That's not a good move. White should have gone bishop take, and then grab one of the rook. I think both players need to slow down a little bit because from what I see, some mistakes are being done. It's okay. It's a decent game overall, but more importantly, if you take like these 10 tiny seconds to think about it, you're like, hold on a minute. That's a free knight right there. Because as you can see here, they missed it for a few moves, and in the end, Lucas Naris was able to capture the rook over there. Okay, so let's move on to another game. Let's go back to the beginner tournament. Let's see the last one. Oh, actually, the last one is not playing. I think this player hasn't connected today. So let's go to this one. Okay, what do we have here? So we have 4 games remaining. We already have how many winners here? We have 4 wins already. Messi, Apple, Wise Floating Moment, Alan Lucien, and Zenatan A. So remaining FRA versus RVK. Ooh, so we have a situation where we have a queen versus... Oh, wait. No, a queen was lost, actually. The queen was lost. Ooh, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for FRA. Let's not forget that though FRA is an excellent potential and strong student, very young as well, he is up against the super teacher RVK. So it's going to be a bit tough to guard this one. Very well played though. As you can see, there were 2... oh, yeah, no, it's pinned. So obviously, I think here, this is the end of the game. I don't think there's a way to defend this. So we're observing the end of the game. Well done, RVK, FRA. See you in the next one. Okay, then what do we have? We have Samir Daga versus Mr. Ralgan. Again, a student against the teacher. So how do we do here? We have a +2 for Mr. Ralgan, which is the teacher. Mr. Ralgan always think a lot during this game. You might think it's a bad idea. When you start chess, you see this clock, it's scary, you're like, how quick I should play, I must not go to 0. But that's one of the most common mistakes. I think the ratio of people going to 0 is extremely low, even in time control, such as 5 minutes plus 5 seconds. And rather you want to worry about the quality of your moves. And the quality increases as you think more. So Mr. Ralgan, while we might think like, why is he taking so long? He's gonna fall on time. He never does. He never does, because every time he plays there is a +5 seconds, and he just makes sure to... So here, for example, is a beautiful example where you can see that clearly black should have guarded this square here. And maybe, I'm sure Samir Daga is very talented, with a bit more time spent on the move. He would have thought, wait a minute, this bishop comes here to attack this pawn. It's attacked with the queen as well. I must defend. And obviously rook here was one of the answer, I guess, the only one. Probably the only one. But that's what happens. And as you can see, Mr. Ralgan, while playing slowly, has 0 worry, as he has 2 minutes left on the clock. Okay, let's get back to the open. Let's see the game remaining. So let's go to Sonu the Destroyer versus Kawai Pak. Mr. Tonmo. Okay, so what do we have here? We have a +6 for white. Looks like the queen is down. Also very active pieces from Kawai Pak. Sonu the Destroyer has a rook on the 7th rank, which is great. I think he's too far behind in material, but it's still interesting to notice that the rook on the 7th rank is always interesting. But obviously here the queen ahead is just going to be too hard to deal with. I see some good moves, such as like here we could see some harassment with queen here, followed by, in case of rook here, queen, oh wait, no, it's guarded by the knight, maybe queen here. Like you can really go around and maybe do another queen. Why not, right? Why not? Or if you go check here and he puts the rook back here, you can put more pressure on the rook. Okay, he decided to. That's a good one. He's like, take my queen, it's fine. I'll get another one and capture your rook. Very nice combination by white, who's now gonna get another free rook. So excellent. I did not even compute it on time, but very, very good combination by white. So I think it's going to be pretty hard for black here. I don't think white, judging by the quality of the moves, I don't think there's going to be any stalemate here. So, round of applause for Kawaii Pak. Okay, I think it's soon checkmate. I see, okay, going for more material. Okay, let's get back to another game. Let's watch the last game on the open, and let's get back to the beginner. Let's see Maurizio Ace Bedo versus Umipati, two contender of the previous tournament. Very, very even game. I feel like Maurizio Ace Bedo, though his opponent head is a bit in trouble, the pieces looks a bit less active, and the time control is against Maurizio Ace Bedo. He's got 12 seconds left on the clock. It's fine, as he can like get 5 seconds per move, but he doesn't get to think a lot. Now, if you're black here, you might think, I am going to play fast. Ooh, nice move right here. Giving away the bishop. If you take the bishop with white, bishop take pawn, king takes, rook take queen. Okay, decided to go for the bishop right here. Obviously, the rook is going to take, and the knight is going to take, so at least he gets a rook and a bishop for the queen. So back to what I was saying, as Umipati you might think, fast, let's play fast, and then I'll get him on time. That would be a mistake. You have to use your time advantage to actually think of your moves. And the moment you will surprise the opponent by playing like a strange move, that's where it's going to be in a world of trouble. So I believe I would give an advantage here for Umipati. It's not over yet. It's basically 2 rooks for the queen and knight for against rook. But yeah, it's gonna be nasty once the rook get to the 7th rank. It's gonna be really tough. Okay, he goes with the knight to guard the square. That's smart. That's very smart. Okay, he challenges the d file. Sorry. Pushes the pawn, create a pass pawn. This is what we call a pass pawn. A pass pawn is a pawn that cannot be stopped by other pawns. Why do we give it a name? Because a pawn that cannot be stopped by other pawns is very interesting. Because it cannot be captured by other pawns, your opponent will have to stop it with pieces. And once he does, it means that these pieces won't be used for other purpose. And if they are not used for other purpose, you might outnumber your opponent on this other purpose. So a pass pawn is like a constant threat that your opponent has to deal with, other than with pawns. With pawns would be easy, right? You don't worry about it. Once you move forward, you trade the pawns. Over. Okay, so here looks like Maurizio Ace Bedo does very well with the time. We've got the queen against rook and knight. Oops, the rook went down. Yeah, I guess the time finally took a toll on our very own Maurizio Ace Bedo. So I feel like Umipati is gonna be, yeah, the game is over. The game is over. So we can go back to the lobby. Actually, let's get back to the tournament here. So we still have Fortnite Eagle versus Lucas Naris. So what do we have here? We have +1 for Lucas Naris. Oh, a comeback from Lucas. We missed it. We missed it. So what do we have? We have a pass pawn, very close to queen. What an interesting position. I think white is doing better, but that's just a quick assessment. It looks like... Ooh, I might be speaking too fast. Oh, the knight is under capture. Lucas Naris is going to chomp on that knight. That's the end of the game. I think black's game here was to try and capture this H pawn. Oh, and he doesn't capture the knight. He does not capture the knight. Where do we go from here? Knight take pawn. Maybe white's last chance here is to harass the black king with checks. So basically here, I feel worse and worse for white. I think white, the queen is being more and more alone. Exactly. So I think white has to go like realize that he's not in a great posture. And I'm not sure about that. Is it enough? Is it going to be enough? Yeah, maybe he takes this pawn here. Yeah, actually, that might be enough. Check. Yeah, that would have been enough, capturing the pawn here. If he takes the pawn, I don't think... Or the knight, of course. Or the knight. I forgot about that. First thing I said, actually. Capturing the knight. Okay, looks like black is done for. That was interesting, though. I think if black tried to play with his advanced pawn here, try to capture here, maybe push a bit, we might have some counterplay for black. But here, it looks like it's going to be over. Maybe pawn push, check. I think white shouldn't even worry. I think a little like king here. That is if your opponent tried to go bishop here, pawn here. I mean, it's so long. It's so long. Even this would be enough. Because once you're here, what do you do with the pawn? What do you do? Dear viewers, what do you do? Nothing. You do nothing. Okay, so, but white is playing a bit too much here. I think white has to, okay. Free bishop here. He's got to take it. Otherwise, we're just going round and round. And he takes it. So probably we're witnessing a victory from Lucas Naris. And the lesson of today is never give up. Because, as you can recall, Lucas Naris was a lot down on the pieces, on the material, and he never gave up and came on the top. Okay, you might argue these are kids, maybe he gave away a lot of pieces. I don't care. I don't care. Especially when you're beginner kids, don't give up. Okay, when you're a bit... Okay, checkmate in one here. Too bad. There was a checkmate in one. Queen here was checkmate. What do we have here? We have checkmate in one here, queen here. Let's be careful. If white is too greedy, capture all the pawns, there might be a stalemate. Black has to lock his king up. King here. If white is greedy and go for this pawn, we might be witnessing a... Okay, he went for checkmate. Excellent. Excellent move by white. Let's get back to the tournament. So the next round starts in 4 seconds. Let's get back to the open one. We're going to refresh the page. Okay, so we have, let's check the game of Afare versus Alan Lucien. Okay, so what do we have here? +1 for white. The black king seems in trouble. Let's see, how did we get here? How did we get here? So we have an Italian opening. Black went for some kind of King's Indian, but on e4. I mean, why not? On the King's Indian, I'm not sure. I mean, on the King's Indian, you do want to do e6, but I'm not sure you want to do it when you do some kind of King's Indian when there is e4. I'm not sure you wanna go e6. Usually, you want to keep this pawn here and more like push this pawn to have like the structure like in the Sicilian or English opening, so that these pawns actually help you controlling the diagonal of your bishop, basically. But here. So let's go ahead. Okay, as you can see here, this is like, you put a bishop here in fianchetto, what we call fianchetto, which means the little flank in Italian. If you disagree with this translation, then you're wrong, because I asked an actual authentic Italian person. It means little flank and not flank. Fianchetto. So this is the bishop in fianchetto, and the problem is that here Alan Lucien directly blocked his bishop. So yep, it's fine, but I guess that's maybe part of the problem that happened later. So knight here, okay, knight here would have been super interesting, because here you have what we call a outpost. An outpost is a place that cannot be attacked by opponent pawn, this place, and if you put a knight on it, especially if it's in the center, that means your knight will have a very comfortable seat to go in and stay there and control very important square, and you cannot be bothered by pawns. So remember, outpost, square that cannot be attacked by pawn, good to put a knight on it. He went back. Okay, this seems a bit reckless, because really here you have 1, 2, you could even argue 3, 4 pieces that haven't gone out. Your king is in the center. You cannot be the one opening. Like white has castled, you haven't. You do not want to open the game here. You want to slow things down. You want to take out your pieces, castle, and be safe. Okay, so capture. I guess that's what. Okay, and here very well played by FRA, who put the rook in front of the king in the open file. Open file is a file without pawns. And let's move forward a bit faster because I'm not gonna spend. Wait, that was strange. Oh no, check. Okay, got it. Okay, let's continue. Then what happened? Okay, here it looks like +9. It's gonna be complicated for Alan Lucien versus FRA. Okay, let's move on to the next game. Let's refresh the page. So what do we have? We have, let's say, Mr. Wise Floating Moment versus RVK. So once again, RVK, strong teacher, Wise Floating Moment, very talented kid, but yeah, it's gonna be hard for Wise Floating Moment. So what do we have here? We have +2 points ahead for black. Looks like the pieces are active. Wise Floating Moment doing great though. Looks like the pieces are quite active. I do not like this knight here. As you can see, all the squares he would like to go to are actually under control, and there's only really this one and this one, so it's like stepping backward. It's okay sometimes to step backward, but that's only to step forward again in a better place. And here is just not reactive. But beside that, the bishop is quite active. This one also. The rook is on the open file. I say why not? Okay, RVK activating his knight once again. Wise Floating Moment trying to control more square with his bishop. It does look dangerous though for white here. I have a bad feeling about this. Wait, what happened? Bishop here? I wonder. You know, I would like to say, no, that wasn't the move. He should play... Oh, wait. This square is controlled by the queen, sorry. But why bishop here? Why? Okay, if I was white here, I think I would try and... yes, exactly. I'm not sure that's the correct move, but it looks like we're gaining some space. It's looking interesting actually for white. Maybe the queen can come here if the queen, depending on where the other queen goes, maybe the queen can give some space. No, cannot. Okay. Maybe, no. Again, the knight. Where could we put the queen? It's time to move the queen out here. Maybe here? Simple, efficient, then we can double the rook after. Here we attack this pawn right there. We put some pressure here. We guard the pawn here also. Yeah, I think queen e2 is not that bad. Okay, let's move on to another game. Though very interesting. This is not a two-man's tournament, isn't it? Okay, so let's go to the next game. Zenatan A versus Umipati. So we have +3 for Umipati. 3 pawns ahead. And a very dangerous pass pawn right there. What can white do? What can black do? So looks like white, both castles are busted. So this is dangerous. I think the action is going to be on the right side of the board here, the king side. I think if you are the one bringing your army, like maybe... Yeah, I think on the left it's completely stuck, right? These pawns, it looks like they are doing like a wall and not much is happening. Okay, very well played by white, who wants to trade the queens. If you're ahead in material, which is the case for Umipati, +3 points, you want to trade the material. You want that. Which he just did. And now, because, let's just put it like that. If you were to fight the world champion, Magnus Carlsen, and you were a queen ahead, you're not guaranteed of winning if it's the starting position, right? You just start the game, you remove the queen of Magnus, you're like, not sure. But if you play against Magnus Carlsen, you're a queen ahead, and there's only kings on the board, then you can beat anyone, right? If you know the trick, you can beat anyone. So it's like, the more you simplify the position when you're ahead in material, the simpler it gets for you. The simpler it gets to win. Of course, depending on the situation, but every rule is made to be broken, but this is a rule in chess. Okay, so here we're at +2. Probably this pawn with... Wait, why king here? What about knight take pawn? What happens here? Oh, maybe it's not for defense that he does that. Maybe it's for attack. Da-na-na-na. So maybe if I was black, I would just push the pawn to prevent the rook from coming here and to not get captured on the next move. And then if he goes rook here, I would put my rook behind so that I create some danger. Let's see, is it what happened? No. Okay. Anyway, we're at +2, double pawn. Looks like it's gonna be a tough game for black. Let's remember that Hpot played beautifully on the last game, so probably a very strong player. I don't think there's gonna be any slip up here. Maybe you can try counter-attacking if he hangs the pawn here. Oof. I saw it. Okay, I just didn't talk about it, but I definitely saw that. Bishop take rook. You can replay the video. I kind of said it in a split of a frame, but I saw it. Definitely. Bishop take rook. Great move by Hpot, and it's probably gonna be game. Okay, let's watch one last game, and then let's go back to the beginner. We're gonna watch Messi Hpot versus Mr. Railgun. Mr. Railgun. No time, that is unbelievable. It's the first time in his life that he's in danger in time control. We're experiencing a one-of-a-kind experience here. Okay, so what do we have? We have even material. Okay, looks like white has some pawn majority on the queen side. But black majority on the king side. So here basically, okay, roughly, okay? So it looks like Mr. Railgun just got a pawn out of it. Now he's trading. Okay, and now he's gonna lose the pawn back. So we're gonna be back to even. I think, I'm not a word expert in endgame, but I think I like white better here because, I'm not sure, the king is quite close to the, Actually, black might just be able to activate his king on the king side and push the pawn. The white king has to rush toward the center to intervene, but it looks like it might be hard to stop this g pawn besides sacrificing the rook. Actually, yeah, Mr. Railgun is going for it. You know what? We're gonna stay a couple more minutes here because I feel like we're gonna witness something cool. So pushing the pawn, Messi Hpot is trying to check. It's gonna be really hard to stop, really hard. Okay, he comes closer with the king. Yeah, he can actually get in. He can, or can he? No! Rook check. Oh, does it work? I think rook check was the move here because the pawn was guarding this square. So rook check, you completely ban the white king from staying close. Oh, he does anyway. King here, sorry, Mr. Railgun, apologies. He does it anyway by king here. This king is, it's like, get out! You do not want the other king to get closer. And actually, by doing this, he even saved this pawn here. So, well played. He now goes forward, attack the rook. Oh, the rook is dead! And Mr. Railgun take the crown! Or the game, at least. I'm not sure about the crown, but the game. Okay, let's move on to the next game. Very interesting. I thought black was lost because they had more pawn island. I was like, those are isolated pawn, they will be easily picked up. But no, because the activity of the king in the endgame is very important. Okay, let's go to the next game. Actually, let's get back to our beginner tournament. Let's see how the youngsters do. Oops, sorry. Gotta refresh the page. Okay, so what do we have? We have Timur Kirby versus Lucas Naris. So Timur Kirby is a new student, so it's his first experience. It's never too early to, okay, you need to know the chess rules, but it's never too early to enter a chess tournament. It might be tough on the first games. You're like, I'm losing all the time. What's up? I hate this game. And you might be right. This game is very disappointing at first. But I guarantee you, your version of yourself that did not enter the tournament will be 2 times less strong than the one that entered. It gives you so much. Your brain is working things that you don't even realize. It's like, hold on a minute. He won because ABC. And then on the next one, you're like, hold on. Should I do ABC? It's like magic. So why it might be hard for Timur KB, as we can see here, is 16 points behind. He's starting to realize, hold on a minute. He developed his pieces. He captured my pieces. I think capturing is by far the most important thing for now. Okay, checkmate is, but let's say for now, capturing pieces is very important. So yeah, I guess it's going to be a tough game for... And Lucas Naris has been playing for a while. I mean, he's good. He's just good. So it's tough game for Timur Kirby, but good experience. Okay, let's go to Ritz the Blitz versus Luis Naradip. We haven't seen any of them play so far. So we have a +4 for Luis Naradip. Ritz the Blitz, strong player. Remember last tournament, finished 3rd with only 1 single loss. So might have as well finished 1st on another scenario. But he finished 3rd. And here we have Luis Naradip, 1st online tournament, but very strong contender. Does great at tournaments, great at tournaments, usually in the top 3. So what do we have? +4, he's a piece ahead, a piece and a pawn ahead. Looks like he... Yeah, it's okay. So he attacks here, but that's pretty much it, right? I mean, there's not much more. I think you should worry about this. And this, it looks like there's a bit of a traffic jam here. Even though you're ahead in material, you might want to activate your PC. Okay, that's good. Taking the semi-open file, putting some pressure here, but still a bit too slow. I feel like really you should try to activate the bishop on this diagonal. So maybe something like bishop here to control this diagonal, and then bishop here. Because really the only thing that white can do here is launch an attack on your castle here. Because they're already very much behind in... Okay, and here there's a free piece. Okay, though I would like to come back to this move. Ritz the Blitz went like, hold on a minute. If I go here, I attack the rook. If he doesn't see it, I capture it. Beside the fact the square was guarded by the knight, in chess, you rarely want to attack a piece just to attack a piece. There's always a second purpose. If you attack a piece to gain a tempo, or it's a fork, or you improve the position of your piece attacking the other piece, then it's fine. You can do it. If you attack a piece just to attack the piece, you might as well, at best, you achieve nothing. At worst, you help your opponent. Because your opponent may be like, all right, I wanted to move this piece anyway. Thank you very much, and move it somewhere else. Don't forget that your opponent, you should consider him as the strongest player in the world, no matter who he is, because you do not want bad surprise. You don't want to go like, if he doesn't see it, then I get the free queen. But if he sees it, I lose my queen. But it's fine, he's not going to see it. You do not want to be like that. You want to think that he's going to play the best move, regardless. Okay, so black is winning here. Wait, was there a hanging piece? What happened? Okay, there was a fork. Bishop here, then the piece hang here. Oh yeah, he hung a piece here. Okay, he didn't want to deal with the pin here, so he moved the queen, but that was a bit too early, because now if we count attack and defense, another very important chess principle, count how many attacks and defense are on a specific piece. Here you count 1, 2 attack, only 1 defense. So this knight is actually hanging, and he went for it. Ooh, and now it's terrible, because now it's a rook down. Okay, so, and the castle is a bit busted. Oof! But now he gives away a bishop. Queen take bishop. Then what happens? Queen take bishop. didn't take it. Ooh, that hurts. That hurts. I think Ritz the Blitz is getting the lead back on this game for sure. I think Queen take Bishop was okay. I think Queen take, sorry, in this position. Queen take Bishop. And then I don't think White can truly finish this game. Okay, and it's checkmate. Excellent game by Ritz the Blitz, who pulled the comeback once again. Never give up, guys. Never ever give up on your games. Okay, and then what do we have left? Let's watch the last game. Let's watch Charlie. Hold on. Do we have a comeback over there? Okay, let's watch quickly Charlie BNL versus Fahrenheit Eagle. Oh, looks like the other game is over actually. Okay, so let's watch this one. We're at +3 for black. For Fahrenheit Eagle, looks like the queen is up, and we have a beautiful fork. Unfortunately, white can save it by just putting the rook in between. Is he gonna do it though? Nope. The rook is down. So don't forget, especially if you're in a tough spot, take your time. I like to think of the chess game as I think I already said that in the last stream, but I'm getting a bit old, so I can repeat stuff, right? It's allowed. So I like to think of chess games as a storm. As a boat on the sea. And it's like a lot of the time, not much is happening. It's like you're positioning your pieces, trying to activate them, and it's like calm sea. You don't really need to put a lot of thinking into your moves. You could. It's always good to think. But let's just say if you're on a tough time control, you might want to play the simple moves when the things are a bit peaceful. But once it gets crazy, when you see like there's a bit of captures everywhere, there are a lot of checks, castle is busted, or things get crazy, it's when we're at the heart of the storm. You want to take your time here. You need to take your time, especially if you're going to lose something, or if you're about to win something, or like you want to take your time and make sure there's no way out for you, or there's no great move, because this is the turning point. This is what we call money time in like sport. Okay, so here there's a rook given in 1 by black. It's a great opportunity for white to try and pull a comeback here. He did not take it, so I believe the pawn is dead. Okay, and probably the knight too. Oh no, sorry, bishop is holding it. So maybe queen check here. It's always interesting when you're so much ahead to try and bring the queen as close as possible to the king. Once again, this is a rule that does not apply all the time, but let's just say you might be hurting your opponent more if you do like that. This pawn here interesting, because now you're attacking the knight, you're controlling these two squares, you're cutting the bishop from a lot of squares, or maybe you just try to checkmate. I don't know, rook here. Okay, let's see. I guess Fahrenheit Eagle is gonna get this game. Pawn takes. I guess we can move on to another game. I would say the important thing to remember here is that material over, I'll say it, I get a lot of hate for that because it's not entirely true at some level, but material over everything. Like, you need to capture and not get captured, to put it simply. It's not easy. I know you have to have a good vision of the game, you have to think, but let's just say at this level, once you're like a queen, a rook ahead, it's too much to bear with. Okay, let's go to the open tournament. Let's see, what do we have? The rankings. Mr. Railgun leading the tournament. Nice. Okay, so I mean, not surprising though, but what I mean is he's been chasing this first spot on the last 2 tournaments. He was very close. It's not over, of course, but he's there. He's up there. Then we have 2 other contenders fighting for the second spot. Oh, looks like it's won. A game just finished. RVK, who's still currently playing against Kawaii Pak, looks like he's in a very good position. We're gonna actually watch this game. Let's go. Okay, so RVK +3 points, and so remember how Kawaii Pak was a strong player on the past 2 games, pulling combinations, very good strategic move. And then here, look, like it's to show like how strong RVK is as well. He's it seems in domination of this game. He had a discovered attack, but he didn't go for it. Probably had good reasons for that. He went check. Okay, it looks like it smells the end of the game here. The king goes back. There's another discovered attack. Probably gonna do it actually. Knight? No, because if you do it, then the king moves. Oh wow, it's too much. It's too much for black. There's things everywhere. Okay, now the queen is dead. It's getting over. Which leads me to my statistics. I'm still to see this guy, RVK2987, lose a game. Maybe the 2987 stands for how many years he hasn't lost a game. It's been 2,987 years without a loss. Maybe. Okay, and let's see this game. Royal Red King Cobra versus Afare. So it looks like Afare is at +8. I mentioned it in the last stream. These two players, unbelievable. I've never seen that in my life. 6 years old and just out of this world. Like it's like the level for those who know the Elo ranking. I think they're around like 1,400. Maybe I overrated a little bit, but it's, let's say, a good 1,300. So let's watch the game. Looks like 6 years old. I've never seen that in my experience. 10 years of teaching. So he went for the pawn. Looks like there's a great advantage for Afare. I think the only issue for Royal Red King Cobra at this point is a stalemate, which I don't think will happen because Afare is just not the kind to give stalemates. On a bad day, maybe. On a very bad day, no sleep, no food for 3 days, and with a bad computer, yeah, okay, he might do a stalemate. But here, not happening. Is he gonna trade the rook for the bishop? I would trade the rook for the bishop. I'm his teacher. Let's see if he's gonna do what his teacher would do. If he does, I'm happy. If he does not, I'm happy. Okay, even better. It's pinned and he attacks it a second time. Bishop is free. So I'm proud. Okay, and now is he gonna capture the last pawn? I wouldn't. I would let it leave. Yes, he lets it leave. Nice. Well played, Afare. Well played. Okay, I guess we can just go to the next game. This is not going to... Or we stay here and we see how to checkmate. So here we have Afare trying to pull a rook roller. He's like, that's not going to work because my pawn are going to bother me. A rook roller is basically when you put one rook after the other like this and you just eventually checkmate by handling line by line. Like you roll the rook one after the other. But then he was like, these two pawns are bothering me. I'll let you capture them. And you see? He let him capture it and then he pulled the rook roller. If you are Royal Red King Cobra, first off, you don't have much chance to win or draw. So don't be too hard on yourself. But I would not capture the pawn. Just to be like, I will not let you do the rook roller. You have to find another way. Okay, and here he's just going to... It's a cat and mouse play here. Not even. I mean, it's just the white king is going to try to bother black here. Rook here, I guess, and it's over. Okay, he went here, king here, and rook here, king here, rook checkmate. It's basically a version of the rook roller, but rook here. Is he gonna see it? Afare, I'm speaking to your mind right now. It's time to do rook c8. Okay, maybe he saw something else. Rook here. If Royal Red King Cobra is able to push his king toward the end, push the pawn, it might end up in a draw. I'm not worried. I think Afare is not. Yeah, king here. Okay, and then what? Okay, okay. Just go for the pawn, and then he will do a rook roller. FRA is like, I know the rook roller, I'm gonna make it happen the way I want it. And it's fine, it's fine. It might make the game last a bit longer, so what? So I guess we're gonna witness the rook roller. So as you can see, now he controls this line. He's gonna try to control line by line. Yeah, so you see, one rook goes here so that it controls this lane, the other one control here. And you push slowly the king to the end of the board this way. So he's here, very well played by Royal Red King Cobra, who tried to reach for the rooks to bother FRA. But from what I know, FRA is just gonna... Ooh. But then what? Ooh, looks like it's not gonna be that easy. Okay, rook here. I think rook here was better, but let's just say it would have been a long process. Okay, now he's gonna go rook here. He's just trying to control the line one after the other. He's taking his time, which once again is fine. It's absolutely fine. Rook here, I guess. Rook here. Okay, that works. That works because now you can come here. It's very slow, but it works. Okay, king here, rook here. Rook all the way up. So you see, every time the king attacks your rook, you run. Every time he does not, because the king is an old man, very slow. So every time he does not, you just squeeze him. Okay, so here he doesn't want this, but unfortunately it's guarded by the pawn here. So we're gonna have king here and checkmate. Checkmate it is. Okay, and the next round will start. We're gonna stay a bit more on this one. We're gonna stay a bit more on this one. Okay, what do we have? All right, let's see the game of the undefeated people. And they didn't even settle last time. They went with a draw. So right now, both of them must be extremely angry in front of their... I know them, they're the kind. They're the kind to get really angry, really emotional. Mr. Railgun and RVK. So right now it's a duel for the ages. They're not. They're just really casual about it. I'm just making this up to build tension. But regardless, the battle of the ages. So probably the winner will come out of this game. Not yet. There's a lot of round left. But let's say the one winning this one will get the top spot. So what we have here is I guess my opening knowledge is not too much on point here as well, but it looks like a modified Queen's Gambit with a King's Indian, something like that. If it's not, you can insult me in the comments. Okay, so we have RVK challenging the center of Mr. Railgun with a nice c5 move. So it's actually quite an interesting move, this one, because you might say just take the pawn, but this pawn would be a bit out of place. There might be a case of bishop take bishop creating a doubled isolated pawn, which is not ideal. And let's just say this pawn will probably be easy to get back, because the knight, once the knight comes here, he controls the square here to get some defense. So here Mr. Railgun, instead of capturing, was like, I have 2 defense, he has 3 attacks. You know what? I'm just gonna add 1 more defense, and I'll be on my way to castle, because castling, if you're a beginner and you're listening to this, just take my word for granted, you need to castle, whatever happens. Castle is so important. Basically, if you castle, you're gonna survive even against the stronger player. You're gonna survive another like 10-15 moves. If you don't castle, you're in for a bad game, guaranteed. So it should be your goal. I want to develop my knights, bishop, castle. It's so overrated that I think one of the top player, Vladimir Kravnik, wants to create a format where you can. It's not so sorry, and it's so important. It's not underrated or overrated. It's so important that Vladimir Kravnik, one of the top grandmaster, wants to get rid of it, create a format where there's no castle, so that there's less growth in in chess. I also heard some people saying like maybe we should remove the stalemate altogether. Yeah, I don't know what to think about it. Might be interesting, but let's just say it's a different chess. Okay, so here you want check, the knight comes front, because white still wants to castle. Of course, under check, you might want to consider moving the king as the last resort. Usually, sometimes moving the king is the best option, but you might want to capture or protect first. That's why it's called CPR. When you're in check, you should first consider capturing. Doesn't mean you have a good capture, but you should consider capturing. Then you should consider protecting. Once again, doesn't mean you have good protection, but you should consider it. And then you should consider moving the king. It's in this order. CPR, like the thing you do to bring someone to life. If you want to remember the 3 letters. Okay, so here we have Mr. Railgun ahead on time. Can we believe that? Yes, we do. Okay, and now behind. He's probably gonna castle. Oh no, he's not gonna castle. No, it's terrible what's happening here. I was not looking, but here the bishop is having a big trouble here. Huge trouble. It's pinned. It's attacked twice. Ooh, that does not smell good for Mr. Railgun at all. Looks like RVK strikes again. Someone take down RVK if you hear me. He's unstoppable. We need to see him lose. Okay, next opponent of RVK, I'm gonna turn on Alpha Zero, the computer, and I'll give you the moves. Let's see if we can beat him. Of course, I'm not gonna do that. Cheating is bad, everyone. Do not cheat on online tournaments. You're gonna get caught. You're gonna be tagged as a cheater, and you cannot get away with it. It's too easy. Okay, so here he's going like, you want my bishop? All right, take my bishop. I'll just counterattack. I don't care. Take it. But is it gonna be enough? That's the question. So I think RVK can just go bishop takes. If queen takes king here, and then knight here. Ooh, knight. Oh no, wait, it's pinned. So castle, I think. Castle, and then he's gonna try to go all out because he's a queen behind, a piece behind. He's gonna try to attack. Here, the knight. Yeah, the knight. You cannot save the knight actually. You cannot save the knight. I think he should castle. My humble opinion. Castle or bring the rook here, but just feel like your king is out of position. Okay, I'm gonna blow my nose. I'll be right back. I'm back. So here he castled, but on the other side. Interesting. He's like, I don't care about my king's defense anymore. I don't care about my knight. I dare you to capture, because if he captures, it's checkmate. So actually, is he getting his bishop back? Probably not, because knight here. But he managed to, and he's gonna go knight here. He managed to make sure his knight wasn't under capture. Great imagination by Mr. Railgun. The two players playing actually right now, they see a lot of moves that they don't, because they are simply super strong. So I'm trying to get the insight of what they think, but knight here, obviously to defend the bishop. And I think, wait, but if he goes knight here, there is no queen take, because the bishop is guarding it. So knight here is actually very interesting. It's like, it's putting pressure here. Why? But the knight is guarding it. I don't know. Or you want to put more pressure on the d file by doubling the rooks? I think Mr. Railgun is thinking of one of these options. I still think black is winning, but this is not a done deal, I would say. Maybe some people are laughing behind their screen. What is he talking about? A piece ahead? It's so over. this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, and maybe I don't. But I think white has still a good shot here. There's the castle is a bit busted. There's a strong possession of the white square by the white color. Wait, what did Mr. Railgun play? Oh, he went for the... Okay, you really want to bust the castle open with the pawns. Mr. RVK 2987 activates his bishop, attacking the rook. Hold on a minute. Was there... this was an idea that you could have pulled right away. I missed that. So knight here was necessary because... Just a little rewind here because it's interesting. So capture, castle. Knight here was necessary because even though you're like, hey, hold on, there's one defense, one attack. The thing is, if you capture here with white, you're not worried about black recapturing, even though the bishop is 3 points and the rook is 5, because it's checkmate after. Queen checkmate. So that's why knight here was necessary. Okay, and now the bishop comes into play. Okay, I feel like black is taking over a bit here. It looks like the pieces are very active. I think my take on this is that black will start not even to worry about defense here. He's going to start like... Oh! He even gave up. So that's how bad black was winning here. I think here the follow through is, let's say you move the rook right here. I think you're just going to go like, or right here, I don't know. You're just going to go bishop takes. Is it? Yeah, bishop takes, pawn takes, queen takes, check, and here the white king is in big trouble. And the black pieces are now active. Okay, let's go back to the tournament. We have Maurizio Esbedo versus Messi Apple. So, +1 for Maurizio Esbedo. It's a knight for 2 pawns. Usually in the early oh, I got a challenge from one of my students. Not the right time. Okay, so usually in this kind of material exchange, the one with the piece up is much better because the 2 pawns are really more interesting in the end game and if they are advanced. In the mid game, if you're 2 pawns down but you're a piece ahead, you're usually doing much better. Okay, so hold on a minute, I'm gonna check quickly. Looks like I got some messages. What's going on? Please give me a minute, everyone. Okay, no, it's fine. Let me continue. So, yes, back to the game. Maurizio Esbedo versus Messi Apple. So 18 seconds for Maurizio Esbedo. It's Messi Apple to play. +1. The rook is under attack. Do I feel... Oh, there's some dangerous stuff going on. It's fine as the knight is here. Don't forget this knight is really the bodyguard of the castle. It's really important. Okay, he went here. As white, I would have almost like tried to pull what we call a rook lift. It's basically putting the rook up and right to attack the black castle. Ooh, definitely going after this pawn. There's a danger here. I guess this was the right defense from Messi Apple. Maurizio Esbedo running out of time. He went for the check. I'm not sure it's a great idea because trading is not his game right now. I guess white should just... There's not much danger actually. It looks dangerous, but I don't see much things going on for black here. I think white should just try to counterattack. Wait, but black is a piece ahead. Sorry. So trading is kind of good. Though it's a bit disappointing because the knight was an active piece, like really active. You don't really want to trade it. You want to continue your attack, right? And here, very well played actually, because one day the bishop might be stuck here. A bit mixed feeling about this rook take pawn, because okay, you get a pawn, but you're kind of opening the semi-open file on your b file. Unfortunately. Okay. What's the idea? Oh, the idea was rook take followed by queen take, checkmate. So Mauricio Esbedo saw it. So he went rook here to defend this square, and now he's going like full defense here, full attack here. That's a very interesting game. Okay, rook here to attack the queen. The queen gets into the white camp. Ooh, that's dangerous for white. Very dangerous. What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Because this file is opened, it's gonna be a check. Another check here. Might get very dangerous. If you're able to run and maybe hide over there, why not? With the pawn that can cover you after. Ooh, he goes for the trade. I wouldn't trade. I would try to keep my pieces if I was white. Okay, and now he runs. Yeah, I would have kept the pieces. Okay, let's get back to the... he's probably going to run to the right side of the board, but I'm a bit worried about white now. I think black is going to... Black now has active pieces. He trade the queen. Yeah, it's a pawn for bishop. If black plays this well, there's no like here you can almost probably like really put a lot of pressure on this pawn. He takes the open file. I would have attacked the weak pawn right there. Isolated pawn is a pawn that does not have any pawns for defense, so he's pretty much alone here. But he goes for the fork. It's very good. Probably a better option than what I recommended actually. Double attack. Nice. Very nice. Okay, let's go back to the ranking, because last time I heard, yeah, you don't go enough on the ranking. What is that? Ranking are important. First, RVK2987. Very, very unsurprising. Please, someone take him down. There's a bounty on his head. I'll give an extra chess scorebook if you beat him. Whoever beats him, you get a fantastic scorebook where you can write your games. Mr. Ragan, second with one defeat, holding to the top three. Kawai Pak, we knew it. Kawai Pak is a very strong contender. The sad thing about this is that RVK already fought both of them, so now it's going to be hard for them to get back. Someone has to take him down from the second part of the board. Umipati fourth, Afare fifth. I talked about Afare, very, very strong. Let's watch this game actually, and let's get back to the beginner after. Oops, wrong game. Afare, let's see how it's going. Wait, is it the game that he's playing right now? Afare versus Umipati. Okay, so why can't I see the live game? Here, on this one. Ah, they don't give me the... Wait, is it because it's over? White is victorious. Umipati, victory. Okay, so black was ahead in material, but white was able to pull a checkmate. Let's see how it happened. Okay, the queen simply... Okay, white was too strong on the white square around the black king. So this happens when you don't have a white bishop anymore. For black, you don't have a white squared bishop, and you start putting your pawn on the black squares, then white is like coming in like it's nothing, and it's like, please check, and as you can see, it can quickly end in a checkmate. Fantastic game by Afare though. Once again, doing great in one of the a very strong tournament. Okay, let's get back to the beginner. What do we have? Ooh, Ritz the Blitz leading the tournament. 5 points. A fully perfect record for Ritz the Blitz. Followed by Luis Naradip and Lucas Nares. Followed by Fahrenheit Eagle, Charlie BNL, Tomiris 27, Timur Kirby and Asin Bekeke unfortunately couldn't make it this time. So let's watch the games. We have Tomiris versus Ritz the Blitz. So we have a +2 for Ritz the Blitz. It looks like a strong attack from Tomiris. It looks like Ritz the Blitz missed the free queen here. There's a queen for take right there. And the queen escapes. Very nice. Very well played from Tomiris 27. Okay. So Ritz the Blitz is just calmly pushing forward. Now checking. Okay. Don't forget, Black King here is a bit in trouble. Now he blocks the rook. All of this happens because no castle. You need to castle, ladies and gentlemen. You need to castle. Okay, so it looks like we're at +5. 2 knights down. It's going to be a tough game. Here, another bishop given away. If you're not inspired, just try to come up with a plan. But the worst you can do is like have no plan. And even worse than having no plan is just because you have no plan, you start sacrificing stuff. It's like scoring your own goal in a football match. It's like you're playing a football match and you score your own goal. Your opponent doesn't even have to play well to win the game. He just has to wait for you to score your own goal. So bottom line is material is important. If you don't have a plan, there's a saying in chess, a bad plan is better than no plan. Obviously, a good plan is better than a bad plan, but you gotta come up with a plan, and ideally, the plan shouldn't be giving away your material. It's gotta be anything else. Control the center, develop my pieces, improve that piece position, castle, attack on the queen side, attack on the king side, anything you can come up with, move the king to safety. Anything you can come up with, but don't give away material. It's the best way to lose chess games. Okay, but great game by Tomiris, who is also just started chess. So excellent, excellent game. Regardless, let's see. We have Lucas Naris versus Charlie BNL. So looks like Lucas Naris is going for a victory. That being said, be careful with the stalemate. Let's see if he's going to be careful enough. Yes, it's a checkmate. So victory from Lucas Naris. Another victory by Ritz the Blitz, who is heading toward the victory. Is there going to be another game? I don't think so, because there's only 7 contenders. So probably this was the last game. So we have a 0 defeat sheet for our Ritz the Blitz, who went 3rd last time and this time claimed the victory. Let's see. Maybe there's a last game. Let's go with Luis Naradi versus Timur Kirby. Let's see. So we have this position, +14. Once again, Timur Kirby, very young student, 6 years old, and just started chess, but great experience. Great experience. He'll get points, happy points. He'll get an e-certificate, and more importantly than anything he can get from the tournament, the material thing is the experience. The experience is fantastic. So here we have a queen down. As we can see, the king hasn't castled yet, so castling important. And we have the rook and knight that are not developed. So here Luis goes for trade. Why not? He's ahead in material. I think he could be a bit more aggressive with so much material ahead. He could do like a queen castle, for example, check, activate the rook. But let's just say he's playing safe. Let's go to the open tournament. So what do we have? We have our RVK first, Umipati second, Mr. Rangan third. Okay, let's watch the game. Let's see Umipati versus RVK. Umipati, we implore you. You've got to stop him. You've got to stop this RVK 2987. I want to see him losing a chess game while I'm still alive. Okay, so here we have very quickly played. Is en passant a good idea here? Bishop take. That would be just regular. So So the queen is under attack, probably to bring the knight over there, right? So en passant, for those who don't know, is when your opponent moves the pawn 2 squares as such, and you have a pawn next to it. So here RVK decided not to do it, but if you decide, you can right away bring your pawn over there and actually capture this pawn. And I'm not doing a joke, this is an actual chess move. En passant it's called. It means passing by in French. It makes no sense, even in French. Passing by. Passing by what, who, when, we don't know. But that's what it's called. And it's true, it's not a joke. You can capture it like this, and you have to do it right away. You cannot wait, and it has to be 2 squares. The pawn has to move 2 squares, and you have to have a pawn next to it, and you have to capture right away. So anyway, he decided not to do it, so now we cannot do it, the en passant anymore. He saved the knight by going to the side. We say a knight on the rim is dim, so usually you do not want your knight on the rim, but I can assure you the level of these 2 players makes me think that they have the required level to break the rules. It's like in chess, if you want to be a good player, you have to respect the rules. If you want to be an excellent player, you have to know when to break them. Okay, we've got a free pawn here. Hpot is like, I don't care, take the pawn, I'm castling. I don't care, it's your pawn, take it. So RVK, if I was RVK, I guess, do I trade everything? Do I go this? I would. He didn't. He probably has his reasons. Maybe because the knight is just in the right position here. He's like, don't need to move it. I'll let you. Yeah, that's what's behind this. And now we trade. He's like, I'm gonna let you play this little move that is somewhat not that great, beside attacking the knight. And black doesn't want to leave this knight here anyway, because it's like handicapping a lot of his movement. This knight is actually in a wonderful position. So you have to chase it, and then he's like, alright, now that you played your useless move, I'm gonna take the bishop. And in the meantime, he had time to castle. So we might witness a castle race here. We might. We might not also. I do not like this move. I'm not sure why Hpot played it. Must have good reason. Once again, very strong player. But I'm afraid of this this move here is actually weakening the castle here. Especially when you don't have the bishop of the dark square anymore. Because now white has the bishop of the dark square, and potentially it's going to be very dangerous to deal with that once white starts attacking with bishop, queen on the dark squares. Even with this pawn right there, it might get ugly. But let's see, maybe Hpot had a specific idea in mind. Once again, I'm speaking out chess rules, but maybe that's not all there is. Maybe Hpot saw that there was even more trouble if he didn't play that. Maybe the knight was out of position, like if your knight is here, that's why this pawn is so good as well. Because this knight here, it's like guarding this pawn right there. And maybe Hpot was like, I'm a bit worried about this queen and this knight lining up, attacking there. My knight is not here to defend. And when you have the pawn right there, it's like, nope, you can't get back there. So here I would say clearly white's plan is to bust up everything here. And black plan is to somewhat defend here and be dangerous right there. You see, like the bishop, the queen, he's trying to pull something out of his hat here to like counterattack. You have to, in chess, at times you have to show that you can bite back. You don't just want like turtle up and wait for it to pass. It's possible, you may want that, but sometimes you want to be like, be careful. You want to question your opponent, like, be careful. If you're too much onto the attack, I'll bite back, and I'll bite faster and stronger than you. But anyway, here he just defended, the queen falls back. I don't see much going on for black's attack, but if you care too less about it with white, I guess it could come fast. But for now, I would say white is having a better position. And white is RVK 2987. Please, someone take him down, please. I want to see him lose. Maybe a misclick. A misclick would be good. Like, queen to d5. Queen to d5. If you hear me, RVK, queen to d5. Great move. Give away your queen in one move. No, of course not. That's not what chess is about. Okay, so the game will continue. I think slight advantage for white here. I think he's going to take his sweet time. He's not going to rush that. He's like, I'm attacking. Things are going great. I have a lot of space. Black is like trying to, as I mentioned earlier, stay dangerous. White is just like, the d file is mine. Ooh, that might be dangerous. That might be dangerous. Let's stay a bit more. If he's able to open files, then RVK might encounter some trouble. Did I see that wrong? Is black actually winning? Okay, so RVK is like, I don't like that. I don't like what's happening. I'm going to trade the queen. I'm 1 point ahead. I'm 1 point ahead. Please trade the queens. I think RVK got worried at the same time as I did. Maybe earlier, actually. Let's see. What is he going to play now? Is he going to trade the queen? If you don't trade the queen, what do you do with black? If you trade the queen, you're 1 point behind. Maybe you might argue, okay, I break the pawn structure. He's going to have 2 isolated pawns, blah, blah, blah. But just still 1 point behind in the end game. So I would say, yeah, I would have said, like, if you want to keep your attack going, and it looks nice. Oh, yeah, but the pawn is down. But I think he meant it. He knew the pawn was going down, but I think he would just want to take this semi-open file here, Hpot. He's like, you know what? Who cares about pawns? I'm already 1 down. Pawns are nothing. And then just like go for the attack. I mean, the same kind of mindset, but that doesn't mean it's good. Because at times I attack a bit too much. Okay, clearly RVK is like, let's trade the queen, come on. I'm 2 pawns ahead, let's trade it. And black is, I can tell you right now, he's not gonna trade. He's gonna do everything in his power not to trade. If I was RVK, maybe he wants to go for a draw here. Because he's ahead in the tournament. There's not much people that can catch him, especially if he draws. Maybe he's going to go for trade the queen. No. And that's how we see the best mindset here. RVK is like, I could go for a draw. I'm not going for a draw. I'm going to win this. And he goes bishop here. Actually, it might be a very good move. He's just like, I mean, you can't attack with black if you're constantly reacting to a threat, right? If you have to move the queen again and again and again, and eventually like white pieces are very active and you just end up with no attacks. So actually, once again, a crazy great move by white, by RVK. Okay, he tries to keep the attack. What is the next thing for? Oh, everything is traded here. Everything is traded. The threat is rook takes rook here. So he's gonna go, wait, is he dead? Hold on a minute. No, but is he dead? I did not see that coming. Rook take, and then what? What do you do? Queen check? Queen check maybe? Then queen check, there's going to be rook here or king here. He's going to move the king. What is the queen going to do here? Nothing. He's going to move the king here. Queen check actually does nothing. Oh my god. These guys, even Hpot, very high level game in my humble opinion. Wow. And RVK completely shocked me again here. Okay, maybe you have rook here, and you lose a knight because rook take, knight takes, queen takes, king here. Are you getting checkmated anyway? Wait. Oh yeah. Oh, this works as well. And then you just move here. Yeah. he got a piece out of it. Okay, I think it's gonna be time for us to go to the next game, because here, wait a minute. What? Checkmate in 2 with a bishop sacrifice. Oh my god. He deserves the victory. He deserves it. I want him to lose, but I gotta say he deserves it. He just keep pulling like combination, one after the other. And he ends up with a 5 out of 5. Can anyone catch him up? I guess Kawaii Pack, Mr. Railgun can catch him up, but he would have to lose a game, maybe a game and a draw. It's unlikely to happen right now. It's unlikely to happen. Let's check the beginner tournament. I think the beginner tournament is over. I think. Yes! And we got a victor! The victor is Ritz the Blitz! And he takes his revenge from last month by taking the crown. Congratulations, Ritz the Blitz. Followed closely by the two brothers, Luis Naradip and Lucas Naris. Congratulations, guys. Great tournament. We'll try to have a bit more people on the next one. I gotta say 8 was a bit too few. Maybe we'll ask some of the open to come down. We'll do that a bit earlier if we see that people are liking. But nonetheless, a great victory and fantastic second and third place. Good job, guys. And you'll get your medals, you'll get your e-certificates, you'll get your chess score books. And for everyone, e-certificates, and for everyone of the club, happy points. Congratulations. Great tournament. Okay, so now we can focus on the big guys. So we have ongoing game. Just started. Who are we gonna watch? RVK versus Messi Apple, Kawaii Pack versus Mr. Railgun. Ooh, that's gonna be an interesting one, this one. It's pretty much for the second place. It's not over because there's another 2 game, but it's pretty much for the second place. Let's see how it's gonna go. Okay. So we've got a Sicilian opening, I think. I don't remember if it's Dragon or Accelerated Dragon. Never played the Sicilian. And versus that we have a classic like answer. Not sure also what's the name, but like you basically take out the knight, push d4 to control the center and capture. So I think from my memory here, the idea of black, okay, I'm already wrong, but the idea of black from what I remembered was to go push pawn on the queen side, but looks like it's not that. So I guess it's just control the center here. As you can see, he went e6, d5, Mr. Railgun. And Kawaii Pack, same thing. They are both battling for the center. And we might have a castle race again. Because as you can see, one went for the queen castle, the other one for the king castle. So, castle race? Question mark? Okay. He goes for the center. So this move is good as pro and cons, right? The pro is that you're really controlling the center. Like you got it. Like it's more black than white. But the problem at the same time is that you're clearly plugging your fianchetto bishop. That being said, you can get a nice recycle here, right there. Not now, of course, because you would lose the bishop to the queen. But say, okay, but that being said, the knight here, beautiful. Beautiful. A piece of art. I think black want to trade here. And then it would be the bishop that would be a piece of art. Remember, I mentioned it earlier, this is an outpost. This is an outpost because black cannot attack it with pawns, which means with white, you drop a knight or a bishop here, especially a knight, and you're like, I'm not moving. I'll stay here. I'm in a great place here because you're attacking beautiful squares. So that's why, okay, so white went for the trade. I'm surprised, but I'm not actually. I'm not because there's 2 defense. There were 3 attacks: knight, bishop, and queen. and you cannot really defend it one more time with white. So trading was probably the only viable option. So nonetheless, a game that is, I would say, pretty even. It looks like they both have a black bishop. This pawn looks dangerous. I'll give a... Ooh! Ooh! Ooh, that hurts! Ooh, that hurts! That hurts! Okay, this is why we call skewer. So he's gonna give away the bishop. Oh my god. Oh, that hurts. Okay, but the pawn is pinned. So actually, white is gonna end up with a bishop. Okay, that went a bit fast, but that was very interesting. Let me get back. So what happened here is black pull out a trick, a very nice trick, where he's like, now that his bishop was ready to go for the skewer. A skewer is like a barbecue stick, and it's like going for queen and king. So you basically lose the queen. You cannot save the queen here, except if you block it, which is what happened. But let's go slow motion. So white went like, didn't really see the skewer, and went like, I'll just take the bishop, you know, trading on trade. And black is like, boom, missed over again. He went for the skewer. So now white is like, okay, so I'm about to lose my queen. Do I want to lose my queen? Not really. If I do this, capture with the bishop. I do this, capture with the bishop. The skewer remains. So how to get out of this? And then he realized, hold on a minute. Here, there is a... Wait, is it a pin? Yes, it's a pin once the queen captures. He's like, hold on a minute. If the pawn captures and my queen isn't here, then the rook is actually attacking the black queen. So this pawn, you could say, you could argue it's pinned through the rook. You could argue that. And so he's like, okay, take my bishop. And he's like, now I take your bishop. And I take your queen. But then, and you save your bishop, but then you end up with rook and rook against bishop, which is not, and yeah, and as many pawns. Okay, white was able to recover one. The bishop is active though. The bishop is very active. So who knows? Who knows? Okay, now putting pressure here. Maybe black cannot do that. Black cannot do that because of the skewer here. Another kind of skewer. So maybe rook here. And then after double up on the file here. I don't know. Because this bishop really has to be dealt with. We cannot get the d file as long as this bishop has an anchor here. Yeah, rook here is good anyway to guard the pawn. But then how to break this line, right? We kind of want this d file to be open. Maybe he's just not gonna bother and take the f file once he open here. Maybe. Okay, so the rook decide to take the semi-open file, which awfully look like an open file because, I mean, it's not a semi-open file because the white pawn is here, but he's in front of it, so it's actually like an open file. Okay, what is black plan now? I guess as black here, I would try to open the file here and take it, because white cannot really do any damage here, I guess, yet. And the rooks are as good as nothing if they don't have any open or semi-open file. The saying goes, a rook smile on an open file. Basically, an open file is where you giving away a pawn. Oh no. Sorry, this pawn is guarding the bishop, so cannot get captured. Otherwise, we would lose the bishop. But okay, I think he wants to attack the pawn chain here. He's like, he wants the d file. He's not negotiating anything. He wants the d file. End of the story. Let's see if he gets it. I'm afraid not, because there's still a pawn here guarding this one. Sorry, guarding this one. This is dangerous for black, because anytime you put your king on a white square, you might get a nasty discovered attack. So, but it's fine as long as the king stay on square. he push? That's strange. What's the idea here? I guess he wants to open like right there with this, with this and this, and it's like white can't do much anyway, so I have time. Yeah, that's what happens. But my humble opinion, I would have open filed like the F file and then bring a rook here and then just try to sneak in. But just my humble opinion. Remember, those are very strong players because now exactly right. White is like, I don't want to open the files. I'm gonna play this. Now you cannot really push here. I'm happy with that. I have this file right there, and now you have two rooks that are completely stuck. So, yeah. Let's get to another game. Oh. Yeah, I gotta refresh the page. Okay, what else do we have? Let's go with Aku versus Samir Daga. So we've got Samir Daga. Ooh, +8 for the great Samir Daga. Okay, looks like it's a wrap. If I was black, I would maybe pin this, even here. Pin this rook and just try to trade everything. But, okay, if you do this, I guess white is gonna go here. But he can't. He can't because the bishop is coming in. Okay, I think the pin here is the most interesting. Pin, and he was even attacking right there. Okay, maybe queen takes? No, he pushes the pawn. Why not? Queen takes. Or defend the pawn, rook here. Or attack the rook and defend the pawn and pin the other rook. Yeah, I think queen here was maybe even the best move. Queen here putting a lot of pressure on your opponent. Unbelievable pressure. Well, at this point, I think white is not in his best shape here. Simply put. Yeah, queen here. Definitely a great idea. Queen e3. So a pin is where, this is called an absolute pin. It's when a piece of your opponent cannot move. And excellent move by Mr. Samir Daga. So here basically the pin is when an opponent piece cannot move. And here it's called an absolute pin because it really cannot move. Sometimes it could be, let's say, a queen instead of the king. And then if you move the rook, you lose the queen. Well, not really here, but just stay with me. It would be called a relative pin. Okay, and now the rook is for take. But do we have a case of... Okay, check. If I was black here... Ooh! The rampant rook! The rampant rook! Is it working? Rook check. No, he didn't do it. Oh, the rampant rook was here. Oh my god, that was a beautiful case. Okay, the idea of rampant rook, let's just see after what happens. But the rampant rook would have been like rook check, and black is like free rook, I'll take that. And if you take it, it's actually stalemate because the white king cannot move. But I'm still wondering, like, if the king goes here, you go check here. Yeah, it's over. It's a rampant rook case here. Probably gonna go in our next magazine. We're doing like cool magazines. I'm gonna do a little like advertisement for the club. So we're doing these magazines in which like we talk about the latest news about our students, about historical games, and we also put a section where we showcase the game of our students, and basically we go through each game of the tournament and we're like, wow, that was beautiful here. And this basically is definitely going in it, like a rampant rook case like that. Not avoiding that. Okay, wait, how did the queen go down here? What happened? Take the queen, moves back. Oh, okay. Okay, so black is winning, but black is winning, but okay, so black is losing a bishop here. Okay, the other side would have been better. Now the king is stuck. Still win though. You gotta put one rook behind the rook behind one pawn and push all the way to the finish line. Nope, not like that. The rook is gonna come to c7. The pawn is dead. You only have 2 chances left. I would say the a pawn is actually your last chance. So the king is stuck. Only 2 pawns left. The only chance here, rook behind the a pawn, push the a pawn. It's your last chance, black, to get going. Okay, so let's get back to. I hope it's not stream sniping. It might be actually. So I'm gonna change game. Okay, so let's get to the next game. Then you'll finish it alone. Okay, the next game is gonna be Sonu the Destroyer versus Royal Red King Cobra. What do we have? +12 for Sonu the Destroyer. Looks like Royal Red King Cobra has some good attack going on, but 15 points is a bit too much to chew on. So I would say black is heading toward the victory. But let's see. Let's see. The 2 rooks are somewhat dangerous. Somehow. Okay, another check, and the pawn is gonna come to in front. No, the king is going for travel. Don't forget also, viewers, that in chess game, if you're beginner, of course, I'm not talking to the great player out there, but you don't really want to expose your king. You want your king to stay at home with a hot cocoa and in his sleepers, and just sitting on the sofa and waiting for the action to happen. You don't want to put it in the middle of the board. As few as possible. It's your last resort. Okay, so here, yeah, I guess it's just gonna be hard for white. Let's go to the next game. And by hard, I mean like really hard. Okay, what do we have? We have RVK 6 points. Let's go to the remaining games. Let's see, Zenatan versus Mauricio Ace Bedo. So Zenatan is at +2. What do we have? 2 pawns ahead, simply put. 2 pawns on the king side. He's defending it. Great play, great play. The knight goes check. That might be troublesome. Not really. Not really. I think so. The king will probably go to g3, yes. And on knight check. Oh wait. The queen was. Oh, it was a. It was a discovered attack. I missed that. Okay, at least you get the knights back. So now it's going to be a very tight game. What used to be a 1 game for white is now going to be very tough. I guess white still has a chance here, simply because 2 pawns. 2 pawns is a lot. So as white, I think you want to push forward as much as possible, but not open the lines. But then what do you do if you don't open the lines, right? I'm afraid it might end in a draw. I think white has to go. You don't really want to open lines like that. I think white's only solution was to bring the king to h3 and then push g4. But even then, this is dangerous. Okay, that's a free pawn right there, isn't it? Oh, I would have started with the other. I would have started with h5. The free pawn was like, in my opinion, free pawn was pawn take, and then pawn take. Because when you go like this, oh, you captured here. Okay. Okay, it's a free pawn, but is it? Yeah, it's not. I mean, obviously the rook goes here, and now it's impossible to defend this one. So, a free pawn, but not really. Not really. Okay, he pushes it. What's the idea? And bishop here, putting some. Ooh, that hurts. That hurts, and that's gonna be a wrap. Too bad. Great game by Zenatan A, but Mauricio Ace Bedo is too strong in the end game. Was too strong. Very nicely played by both players, and actually it's the last game, so we're gonna stay on it. Okay, at this point, I think the game will go to Mauricio Ace Bedo. Great game. great game. Okay, so let's let me see, quickly check if there are any comments. Do we have any comments to answer to? Probably not. How do I check the comments? I'm all new to this thing. Dashboard, live, reaction. 0 comments. So that makes my work easier. No comments to answer. So let's get back to the game. Okay, so we have still a rook ahead, of course. Check. What's the idea of the check here? Oh, he's just going for a simple rook checkmate. Doesn't want to waste time doing another rook. So this is a great time for us to learn about the checkmate with rook against king. So it's going to be a quick course because Mauricio Esbedo is going very fast. So basically you want to bring the king to the last square. So what he's doing right now is he's creating a wall with his rook, and then he's chasing the other king down. Eventually the other king has to move in front. Because this black king is controlling these 3 squares, then he can now push the rook here like you just seen, and the other king has no choice but to go to the last rank. Once he does, you repeat the process and you do it line by line, and eventually this happens. Okay, sorry if it was a bit fast for some of you, but I gotta adapt to the pace. Last game. It's official. RVK is champion. Who is playing RVK now? Mauricio Esbedo. Mauricio Esbedo, it's your time to shine. Take down this RVK guy. Take him down. Okay, and then we have Sagan or Railgun and Kawaii Pack because they drew, apparently. So they are up against Railgun against Zenatan and Kawaii Pack against Umi Pati. Samir Daga versus Messi Apple, Aryaman versus FRA, and Sonu the Destroyer versus Wise Floating Moment. If we look quickly at the rankings, so we have RVK followed closely by Railgun and Kawaii Pack. Umipati completes the 4th first place. Then we have Mauricio Esbedo, who just won his last game. Samir Daga, wonderful tournament, Samir Daga. He actually won his last game. Wow, he did it. Then Messi Apple, followed by Afare, Zenatan A, and Arya Man. And then if we go to the next page, we have Waves Floating Moments, Braille King Cobra, Sonu the Destroyer, and Aku. Okay, overall, great tournament by everyone. I see that everyone has at least a victory. So, round of applause for all participants. They were all able to score at least one victory. And let's get back to the games. So let's go to the... Wait, what happened? The first game is already over? RVK? Oh, no, it's right there. Wait, let me refresh the page just to make sure. Yes. Okay, let's go with Zenatan A versus Mr. Railgun. Okay, so equal material. The queen is out for Zenatan A. I'm not sure I like that. Gotta take out the knights and bishops as soon as possible. Mr. Railgun going for a classic opening. E4 with the... Wait, how did we end up here? Okay, so here. Okay, he went queen here. That's what happened. And then, okay, so queen here I don't think is the ideal move. Because simply put, what happens is your queen is a bit stuck right now. It's all the more that this knight is attacking this pawn, so now your queen is absolutely glued to the floor. Okay, knight here, why not? I like that though. I like what's happening here. He's trying to get some space, but the knight and bishop have to come out as soon as possible after that. Because pawn takes. Oh, that might be trouble. Queen here. Queen here, the only move, or queen here, I guess. Yeah. And then, has Mr. Railgun something nasty prepared? Maybe not. Maybe just develop your PCs and not care that much. Maybe not. Let's see. Let's see his next move. Mr. Railgun. Okay, that's Mr. Railgun, so, you know, he takes his time for moving. Okay, queen here, that's interesting. He's clearly going for this, attacking here. Maybe there's some danger on the diagonal if the queen was to move, but maybe he wants to go for something like that after. Knight take here. So clearly black has to defend here, but how do you do that? How? That's the problem here. And so probably queen f3 is a, I guess, pawn here. Pawn takes, knight takes. Yeah, pawn here. But then you have a check here, I guess. Do you? Yeah, check. Check, and then the king has to move. The only move is right there. And then you can just say hello. You can just come in here. Wow. Yeah, I think that sounds like a... Okay, I would have gone check, but maybe... Because now there's knight take, right? Oh, but the rook is coming. Oh my god. That's gonna be bad. Okay, that's why, guys, especially when I told you earlier that you want a castle, especially against strong player, Mr. Railgun is strong. And if you start taking out your queen like that, he's gonna capitalize on it. He's gonna go like, he's gonna know exactly how to take you off guard, and then you can say bye-bye to your castle, you can say bye-bye to your game, pretty much. I think here knight takes doesn't work, no, because there is queen and knight and queen guarding. But then here there's this check here, definitely, at least a very nice check. And you know what? I stick to my guns. I would have played this before and queen followed by queen here. I think that was a better option, I guess. But queen here now is played. So yeah, great move. Okay, let's see the other games. Let's go a bit down the board. We haven't done that a lot. Let's see Wise Floating Moment versus Sonu the Destroyer. Okay, so we have Sonu the Destroyer who just forked Wise Floating Moment. Unfortunately, the bishop is going to be lost. So I think the best option is, yeah, just fall back, maybe a little check after. And then he has the little check indeed. Then he has the 2 file, maybe capitalize on the file that you can actually enter the 7th rank. Or no, you have to play that, but I'm a bit worried about... Okay, that's interesting. He attacks the bishop. Skewer, ladies and gentlemen, and the bishop is down. But there was a skewer. That was actually oh wait, skewer, but there was check. The skewer wasn't working because of check. Then the king moves, and you save the second rook. Okay, I believe Wise Floating Moment, which is an excellent player. So all of it. That's how strong he is. Okay, I think there's a little problem here. Bishop take rook. And the rook is down. Okay, now he's got to get at least a pawn back here. Where's the fork? He goes for it. But that doesn't work, by the way, because, okay, here Again, don't play too fast when the storm is happening, and consider the CPR. For example, here white has the way to not only offer a trade, which is good for white because they are ahead in material, but also protect the pawn. Because if the rook is here, then the other rook cannot capture this pawn, right? And now you have to move your bishop again, or you have to... Now you brought the rook. Oh, trade? Okay, interesting. He's going to try to go all out on the pawns here. Why not? You know what? I think the white king has the time to... Oh, the white king has to come on the left here. I think. Or maybe he can just push fast here. Let's see. He goes for that. So it's going to be a pawn race, kind of. I'm not sure I like this move. Because now the king has to... He has to bring the king. He has to bring the king diagonal here. Yeah. He's gotta... Oh, okay. Okay, his new plan is to go and capture that pawn over there because he's like, you know what? This is rock solid. You can't destroy it. Nice. So he gets a pawn back. His plan, I'm not sure how good it was, but it worked. I wouldn't have gone with that, but it worked. So I have nothing to say against that. White's floating moment, let's say this is a sign of playing too fast. He's at the 5-minute mark. He started at 5 minutes. He's at 5 minutes. That means he took less than 5 seconds per moves. I know it's the end of the tournament. We're all a bit tired, but it's always better to... Okay, is he going to go for the other pawn? Because actually the game is turning around if this happens. Okay, now he might want to defend that pawn. He does. And now it's going to be the king and the pawn against 4 pawns. What's going to happen? Okay, it's very interesting. I think it's game over for black. Because the 4 pawns, though they look like they're outnumbering, it's like you have a bishop, a king, and a pawn to stop them. I don't think they can really go by themselves. Oh, I would have gone the other side. The king is going to be totally useless over there. He should have gone to c7, I think. At least to try and threaten on the right or on the left. One way or another. Okay, he goes check. The pawn is down. Then he's probably going to try trading, but it's going to be another pawn down. And it's going to be a okay. So if king here, pawn here, bishop here. Yeah, it's a defeat by black. And I would say a lot of good moves. Some mistakes as well were done. I would say Sonu the Destroyer is at 2 minutes. I would say when you're at 5 minutes, you may want to take that extra time and use it. It's like you play a video game, you have the strongest sword in the game, but you don't use it. So yeah, he's trying to go for the queen, but obviously it's not going to work because the bishop is going to stop it. Even at the last moment, you know, he could go for the pawn. And if he pushes, bishop stops the pawn. And there we go. So that's what it is. I think the game is a wrap here. Okay, let's get back to the tournament. So we have Zenatan A versus Mr. Railgun, Hpot versus Kawaii Pack. This is also a very interesting game regarding the podium. Because I think Hpot is at... Oh wait, I don't want to say mistake. I think he's at 4.5. No, Hpot 4, Kawaii Pack 4.5. So this is pretty much a game for second place. With Mr. Railgun as well, which is at 4.5. Okay, so we have material is equal. Looks like black has more space, but a bishop that is not great, a knight that is not great. That being said, he has some excellent attack going on with the queen and the rook on the semi-open file, the G semi-open file. White pieces are not that much better, honestly. The 3 pawns are really taking a lot of space, these 3 pawns right there, 1, 2, 3. And it's really crippling white. So, and he's going for it. He's going for it completely. He's trying to bust the white castle open, and now he's bringing some more pieces to the attack. Probably a trade here. Oh, okay, no trade. Why is this happening? Wait, why is this happening? Ponte. He wants to push. He simply wants to. He doesn't care about anything what's happening. He just want to bring his knight to the attack. Are we gonna see an en passant? No, no en passant. He's Hpot is really going all out. It's like charge with all the pawns, all the. It's like I don't care. Take my pawns, activate your piece. I don't care. I'm going for it. Okay, he wants that pawn. Yeah. I feel like this sounds more and more like game over for Kawaii Pack. Does it though? Does it? Because it's guarded here. Now the knight is... I would have traded this bishop because honestly this bishop does nothing here. And this knight can be troublesome, I think. Like knight... no. Okay, what's the plan here? Rook check. But now the knight is guarding it. Okay, we're really witnessing a case of attack and defense here. Black is all out, white is all defense. And there we go, this knight. Oh wait. That was a free knight. Yeah, that was a free knight. So, okay, never mind. Okay, so the pawn is now under attack 3 times. I feel like Hpot is gonna take this one. I really feel like he's gonna take this one, and because after rook take, yep, resigned by Kawaii Pack. So what do we have? Oh, tournament over. I missed the other games. So congratulations for RVK2987, which outperformed his previous performance even, because last time I think he had a couple draws. This time only victories. He's showing up like how strong he gets during these tournaments. Second, Mr. Relgan with 5 victories, 1 draw. Congratulations. And third, Hpot, who pulled the win at the last moment against Kawaii Pack. Sorry, Kawaii Pack. The 4th spot is for you. So, kind reminder, we're gonna send e-certificates for the top 3. We'll send e-certificates. If we have the names, we're gonna contact you, and if we have the names and your email, we can send the e-certificates and medals and scorebook, chess scorebook. But for that, please get in touch with us. Otherwise, if you don't want it, then it's fine. Actually, we won't send it because that would be impossible. Okay, and then we have 5th Mauricio Ace Bedo, great tournament as well. Oh, we have 3 5th. Mauricio Ace Bedo, Messi Hpot, and Afare with all 4 points. But Mauricio Ace Bedo takes the crown on the 4 points because of his ranking. Sorry, not his ranking. His ties. Basically, his opponent scored more during this tournament. Then we have a great score by Samir Daga and Zenat, followed by Zenatan, Sonu the Destroyer. So on the happy pawns, first is Afare, second is Samir Daga for the medals and the candidates tournament, and third is Royal Red King Cobra. So with 2.5, Aryaman finished 2.5, Aku 2.5, Wise Floating Moment 2, and Lucien 1. Congratulations everyone, thank you very much for joining. Reach out to us if you are interested into entering the next tournament, or it's free of entrance, or if you wish to have a free chess lesson, you can reach out to us by going to happypawnchess.com or by reaching us by email. And you can also reach us on WhatsApp. You can find our WhatsApp number on Facebook or on our website. It's everywhere, our WhatsApp number. You can go on our Facebook page as well. We're everywhere. Facebook, website, email, Happy Pawn Chess. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful Saturday and see you for the next tournament. Bye. Bye, if I know how to stop the stream, which is right there. Bye bye.